for making Saints Central your black and gold home for the New Orleans Saints.
Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that?
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, fucking like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this, and I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. Was popping family. All right, so yeah, very good win by the Saints, man. And shout out to you. Thank you, White, for the commentary. Thank you for that, man. Appreciate you. And the rest of the fam. It's showing what's happening. But yeah, this was a good matchup for the Saints, man. All right, all to say, I know that, but everyone in the league knows we want to get touchdowns by throwing the more than running. I feel like that's why it's hard to win. All right, thank you all. Appreciate that, bro. All right, so anyway, that will do it. These stats, man, and y'all stay with us. The 500 some odd people that's in the building, y'all remain with us because we're gonna have the post game breakdown for the New Orleans. And we'll have the live press conference from the team getting ready. Statistics on the game. The Saints 34-0. It's a final. They went up to the Patriots building and was able to lay the smack down on them to get them on the positive, man. All very positive for the black and gold to get the dub. So we handled the business. Hold on, fam. Just give me just a second here. All right, Tuck Graf says, thanks for hosting, Q. It's always a better game. Big Thank you. Appreciate you, family. Thank you. Hold on. Give me just a second, fam. We got some issue right here. I'm having problems pulling up the people's page or whatever. If not, then I'm just do something else. All right, but yeah, the reality is we kind of had the Saints did what they were supposed to do, family. They came in there, I was very concerned about our offense. Our offense was able to take advantage and make some things happen. Few offensive touchdowns in the game, which was a positive. It should have been another touchdown, but Chris Olave had that one in the end zone, which he should have came down with it. Unfortunately, Chris Olave didn't come down with it. That would have been another touchdown, and that would have pushed us up to 40. We'd have had 40 on them people in the building. Give me just a second. Let me get my screen up here for whatever reason. I'm having issues with that, but give me just a second. I'll put that up. But yeah, we're going to have the post-game press conference from Dennis Allen and all those people momentarily, so y'all just stick with us on that. Really interesting, man. It's like I said, man, we did a phenomenal job today in doing what we need to do. Now, the offense needs to get more crisper. Ain't no doubt about that, fam. We need to work this thing out. We need to do better than what we did in terms of being more consistent with our offense. All right, so anyway, this is the team statistics on the day for the black and gold, man. Hold on here. Yes, for the black and gold. 17 first downs to 8 first downs by the Patriots. Man, we dominated them there. The third down was 5 of 15. looked better in the first half. The second half, we kind of fell off a little bit with third down conversions. The Patriots were 1 of 14 on third downs. That's not going to cut it. And down, they just couldn't get nothing going. 69 total plays versus 51 for the Saints. A lot of extra plays there. Total yards 304 to 150. Total drives 14 to 14. 4.4 per play in yards for the Saints versus 3.1 by the Pats. 161 to 1 compared to the passing statistics. The Saints also had 136 yards worth of rushing versus only 45 by the Patriots. And when you talk about a big sticking point in this game was the fact that the Saints dominated in terms of the ball versus passing the ball. They had 41 attempts in this matchup versus only 26 attempts passing the ball. So 41 rush attempts versus 26 passing attempts, and that gave them a lot of success. So taking the ball out of the hands of Derek Carr and putting it in the hands of Alvin Kamara paid dividends. It paid a lot of dividends for the black and gold today. Turn and moving forward. Reds or in red zones. They went there. They got if you can't be 4, it's not bad. So the Saints were able to get 3 of 4 in the red zone. Patriots never got down there. Shout out to the Saints defense. Penalties, 12 penalties for 86 yards. The referee didn't let it happen. They hit us 12 times for 86 yards. Patriots only 5 game plus 3 turnovers. 3 turnovers by the Patriots in the matchup. The Saints were able to make a touchdown by Tyrann Mathieu early on that helped us out. And look at the time of possession for the Saints. The time of possession for the Saints, 39-4 to 20-26. They held the ball for almost 40 minutes of a 60-minute game. They totally frazzled and dominated the New England Patriots and took this thing to a whole nother level to help us get the dub. And then, of course, you look at the individual statistics for the Saints in a matchup. Derek Carr finished 18 of 26 for 183 yards per throw. Alvin Kamara, 22 carries for 80 yards in the game, 3.6 on the rush attempt for the yardage average, and touchdown. Alvin Kamara put in a strong game there. Miller, 12 carries for 37 yards in the matchup. Taysom had 3 for 19. Derek Carr scrambled twice for 4 yards in the game, and the Saints rushing attempt finished with 42 carries for 136 yards. They had 40 plus carries in the game today combined versus the 26 pass attempts with Carr. The Saints knew where their bread was buttered today. Alvin Kamara, and they paid dividends. They put it in the hands of Kendre Miller. They put it in the hands of Taysom Hill. Wide receiver play. You talk about the wide receivers in the game. Michael Thomas, 4 for 65 in the game, 4 for 53 by Kendre Miller on the catch. Rashid Shaheed finished with 2 catches for 28 yards off of 2 attempts. And then Alvin had 3 catches for 17 yards off of 3 targets in the matchup. Chris Olave was thrown that 5 times, came down with 2 catches, could have had 2 touchdowns in this game. 2 for 12. He had a touchdown in the back of the end zone for him. And, of course, Taysom Hill, Keith Kirkwood had catches in the game as well. You look at the Saints defense, their top tacklers, Lante Taylor and both Demario Davis played well. Laddie Daddy brung up the rear. Carl Granderson had a really stellar game, 4 tackles in the game with a sack in that. Both Passanio and Cam Jordan split a sack, so the Saints finished with 2 sacks as opposed to 1. But the pressure was there. Even though they didn't get home, they had the pressure that was flustering Mac Jones. And the fact Mac Jones and the Saints offense was off time that really helped out. Tyrann Mathieu with a pick 6 in the game, and Pete Werner had one handed to him in the matchup as well. And Blake Grupe, shout out to our rookie kicker. He was 2 of 2, kicking 50 plus yards field goals. He was responsible for 10 points of Saints, 10 points to add to the scoreboard for the black and gold as well. Lou Headley, 7 points on the afternoon, averaged over 300 yards punting, he's had 300 yards or 307 yards worth of punt and averaged almost 44 yards per punt. And of the 7 punts, he put 3 of them inside the 20, one of which was a touchback. So the Saints did a phenomenal job, but in essence, they played a very good drive. It's probably this is the best game by far that we've seen. This collection of players played together. They all represented in 3 phases. The Saints scored multiple touchdowns on the offense. The defense scored a touchdown and held this team scoreless. The special teams hit 250 plus yard field goals, 250 plus yard field goals to get on the board. And the Saints played a solid game. And this is one of those confidence building games where you want to see them build on this as we get ready for the Texans. But first and foremost, the Saints need to celebrate or be happy about this type of performance, shutting out a bad team as the Patriots were a bad team. But you're supposed to beat bad teams like this. You're supposed to smack them down. You're not supposed to struggle with them and barely lose to them 18-17. Or you got mediocre clubs that are not playoff clubs. You lose. You are a contender. You got to show that you're a contender. Play like you're a contender. Shout out to the Saints offensive line in this game too. The Saints offensive line did some great things today to help the Saints run the football, 136 yards on the ground thanks to the running attack. It allowed Carr to have time to throw today, and one of those sacks, one of the sacks in particular was on Carr holding the ball too long. But outside of that, the Saints offensive line did a good job in the matchup, and they dominated a witless Patriots club who couldn't seem to do anything right. And they had the workings. They had help from the referee to try to help them. The referees tried to do what they could to kind of help the team. And in the end, it just didn't matter. The Saints just had too much to give to the Patriots in their building. So that was a plus. Saints go 3-2 and are 2-1 in way. So not bad at all in the matchup. So big ups to them. And of course, the Patriots did win today. They barely beat the Texans. So we'll face the Texans come up next week in the Texans building. So we got to make sure we handle the business, man. But I'm very happy by this performance that we were able to get from the Saints this afternoon. We talked about whether or not the Saints offense could score. They put multiple touchdowns up on the board. How do you guys feel about that? Talk to me in the chat as we get ready. We're going to go over to the interview or the Dennis Allen press conference momentarily. He's about to come up to the screen. Y'all put one in the chat if y'all can hear once he gets up to the screen. And we're going to play old Dennis Allen and see what he thinks. But you're going to get a ton of Saints peoples running up to the podium now after a win. You got to go back there and threaten them. They come to the podium when they lose, but when they win, you're going to at least see 4 or 5 people up on the podium. But anyway, this is a good win for the Saints, man, and we needed this one. All right, so anyway, B-Lo says we played a complete game, won the turnover battle, we won in the run game. That's our recipe, y'all. We got to do it. And you got to do it every week. That's right, bro. Thank you. Marley Mall says, watch Carmichael go into the locker room, rip his shirt open like Superman. I doubt that. They still got some work to do, but this is positive tape to build on. All right, this is positive tape to build on. Josh Scarlett and Voight says New England Patriots need to fire the head coach. Fire Bill Belichick. Really? Fire Bill today? Wow. Okay. Wow. Pelicans notice Atlanta Saints won 21. Yes, I just seen a highlight on that. Trash said this game was so boring it felt like it was on Ambien watching. Okay. Dana says I find it very special when the Saints win, Falcons win, and the Saints lose. Falcons lose. I don't look that. Yeah, I got you. I got you, Dana. All right. Debbie says great game. Shout out to you. All right. Wilson says Texans might be difficult for us. They lost today, but played hard. Yeah, they did play. I was looking at some of the highlights, man, as I'm talking. Yeah, and they look like they really stepped up and tried to do some things, man. So, yeah, it's going to be at home. They're going to be feeling a lot more comfortable in the matchup. So here's Dennis Allen, family. Let's go to him. And y'all put one in the chat. Y'all hear what DA got to say. Here we go.
Came in and did their job and did what we needed to do to win the game. So pleased with the win. And, now we start turning our attention to next week at Houston.
Yeah, what are some of the things offensively that kind of stood out much?
Well, look, I think we were able to score points in the red zone. I think that was probably the number one thing. I thought we ran the ball pretty well in the game. So I thought, overall, I thought up front, I thought we did some good things, and I thought we did a good job of, being able to control the line of scrimmage a little bit.
You mentioned last week that, offensively, think everything needed to kind of be a little bit better. Do you feel like they answered that challenge?
Yeah, look, the challenge really was for everybody to be better. So this wasn't an offense, defense, kicking game deal. This was a New Orleans Saints need to be better. We had to coach better. We had to play better. And I thought everybody, coaches, players, everybody alike, answered the challenge this week.
Did you guys put an emphasis on being more aggressive early on to kind of set the tone? We're going to go down the field and it's different than what we did last week?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think we wanted to, come into the game and be able to run the ball and throw the ball effectively. I really thought we had some opportunities that we could have taken advantage of that we didn't take advantage of. So there's still a lot of things we have to clean up. We obviously wanted to be aggressive. We wanted to, be able to move the ball and score some points, and ultimately we were able to do that.
Dennis, what was the atmosphere like in the facility this week?
I thought it was great. I thought our guys, knew what we needed to do. I think they understood that the previous performance wasn't good enough, and we knew we had a better team than what we put out there, and I think today we came out and answered the bell.
Dennis, you mentioned the defense answering the bell too. What do you think about their performance today?
I thought defensively, I thought we played well. I think third down defense was really good. I think, our ability, to be able to get off the field on third down, helped us and then our ability on offense to be able to run the ball, kind of maintain time of possession. I think that got out of whack a little bit in our favor in the game. So I think that was a huge part of the game. I thought our guys did a pretty good job up front, being able to stop the run and also being able to, kind of get after the quarterback a little bit.
Can you talk about this mark that Tyler with that big six kind of just,
Yeah, I think that's huge. Being able to take the ball away, early in the game like that, and create a little bit of momentum on your side. I think our whole team kind of fed off of that, and that was certainly great to see. It's been a while since I can remember that we scored on defense, and so that was a little bit of an emphasis this week too, to take the ball away and potentially score on defense.
Dennis, I know Pete was pretty adamant about taking all the blame for the offensive struggles this year on Friday, saying 100% my fault, I got to get better. What kind of conversations did you and him have? Not asking for details, but just about him wanting to come into this game, be different, get a different outcome, not just on the scoreboard, but
yeah, look, we talk every week, and if you're having struggles in an area, there's very few times that you can point in one individual direction and say that's the issue, So, the challenge this week was for everybody, players and coaches, to show up, and I thought our guys answered the bell and showed up today.
Yeah, obviously we got lost in a 34-0 game with Blake Ruffy with the 2 long kicks. What's your confidence level with him right now?
I think it's extremely high. I think he's kicked the ball exceptionally well for us, and had zero reservations about having him, attempt a long field goal. So it's great to see him do that.
Dennis, Alvin just walked in the room and obviously he's now the all-time touchdown.
It's pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you just speak on just an overall picture of him?
Yeah, look, I mean, he's been outstanding for our football team, both in terms of his production on the field and in terms of his leadership in the locker room. I think it's been awesome. There's some plays in the game today that probably don't stand out to the naked eye, and yet you just watch some of the his ability to make guys miss and create plays is pretty awesome. I thought he ran the ball exceptionally hard today, and so we've been working to get that 73rd touchdown. So it's been a while for us to finally get it. So it was good for that to happen.
Yeah, this is the largest home loss, shutout loss in Patriots franchise history. I mean, could you have seen anything like this coming this week?
No, look, I mean, our deal this week was just focus on us, focus on what we have to do to be better, and then go out and execute our jobs, on Sunday in the game. And I thought, everybody as an organization, I thought did a good job of doing that.
This is kind of what you thought this offense was capable of. At least
I think this is what I think this is what I want our team to look like. And now the challenge is can you replicate that week in and week out, in a tough league that we play in. And so I thought we had a great week of practice. I thought our preparation was awesome. I thought our focus was awesome. And I think the results showed.
Yeah, just defining that a little bit, like what are the elements that from this game that specifically, like these are the 2 or 3 things that you want your team to look like?
Well, I mean, I think, scoring a lot of points and not giving up a lot. I thought we did a good job being efficient offensively. We were able to run the football. We took the ball away, which created some good field position. We played smart football. We still have to eliminate some of the penalties, but overall, I thought it was a well-played game.
You had emphasized tackling and pass rush in previous games. How do you feel about the progress that you saw today?
Yeah, I thought it was better. Obviously, I'm going to go back and look at the tape. I'm sure there's going to be some things I won't be happy about, but overall, I thought overall as a whole team, I thought it was better.
You said last week Derek had to deal with some shoulder soreness towards the end of the game. But this game, it seemed like he was still throwing deep, like even towards the end. So how did he hold up?
Yeah, I haven't even talked to the trainers yet, but yeah, I'm assuming he's okay. Yeah.
I mean, that seems like a good thing, no? If you didn't even have to talk to him about it.
Yeah, no, I didn't see anything in the game, and yeah, it's all good.
You saw Chris Olave getting some work for the game. Was he dealing with something today?
He had a little bit of a toe prior to the game, but made it through fine. We'll see where he's at, but I thought he looked good. All right. I'll let you guys talk to Alvin. All right? Yep.
Yeah. I hate to sound like so boring about it, but I just wanted to win. It was good though. I think I'm happy because my teammates were so hype about it, and everybody was kind of like, man, we've been chasing it. So it's just I think I'm in a blessed position because it's almost like my teammates wanted more from me than I do, But it's definitely a blessing. I think.
You said after the last game that because the offense struggled so much, there's going to have to be some conversations.
Mm-hmm.
What was said, and did you see the end result of this today?
So yeah, I said there was going to be some tough conversations after last game, and those conversations are between the people with a fleur-de-lis on their helmet and on the hat, aka coaches and players. So I won't tell you exact details about it, but I think anytime you find yourself in kind of like a lull or a rut in anything, but obviously in this game, in this sport, you got to find a way to fix it fast, right? Because sometimes it's you get in those ruts and it compounds and it starts to just turn into your identity. So that's the one thing that we didn't want to happen because we know what our identity is, and I think we kind of got a chance to put it on display today. Everybody was locked in and focused on the goal, and that was a win. It wasn't really looking at a score; it was just trying to play.
How do you think the running game helped you guys in the red zone?
I think we talked about it during the week. When we could run the ball efficiently, it just opens everything up. And then the defense being able to stop the run, I just want to address, because I was just thinking about it. Tyrann Mathieu owes me a pick. I think Cam owed me like a sack or two. Mike owed me a catch. So I'm going to put Mike and Derek in the same bracket. I don't know what it was, the throw or the catch. Mike owed me a catch. Chris owed me a catch because I seen him make them catches before on that sideline. What else? I'm going to just blame something on DA just because. Pete was good today. I think it was good to see Pete out there having fun. It was like he took a deep breath and just exhaled. It was collaborative though, I think anytime we can go out there, execute. We still have some penalties. Foster owed me one. Seas I think owed me one. Shaheed owed me one. I'm just recalling everything that hindered us from being having the score go even higher. But anytime we can go out there, collaborate. I think me and Derek were talking all game. I was going to Pete, kind of trying to nudge him to run some things that Mike likes, that the O-line likes, some things that I saw that I like. Me talking to JT, talking to RC, just collaborating and doing what everybody's comfortable with doing. Talking to everybody, seeing what trying to get in the minds of everybody on the O, and get the ball spread out and you know, trying to be efficient on offense so we can operate. We got too many playmakers to have a shitty offense, and I mean, I think today was a good example of what we could do when we're collaborating and hitting.
Oju how? Like, they almost had it. Oju how?
Shaheed went offsides. Foster went offsides. So Omi as in don't do that shit. I mean, I got a very, very good memory, so you know, I think those dudes they harder on themselves than I'll ever be. But I'm gonna talk shit though, you know. I mean, it's like we need that. They know it though, you know. It's not like me getting on them, but it's like, man, we gotta if we some of those penalties. I mean, we doing what we doing. We need to stay ahead of the chain so we can get more. Like, shoot, Foster jump outside, it might have been the ball coming to him. You know what I'm saying? Shaheed jump outside, it might have been the ball coming to him. So, those guys know we take accountability for it. We just gotta, even with a win like this, it's still stuff we can clean up. So I'm saying that to say it's still more out there. You know, it's still more. I mean, it's still more for me out there. Like it's some stuff I can clean up. It's some stuff Derek wants to clean up. It's some stuff that, you know, we still got in our back pocket that we didn't call today. I know Mike wanted some play. He was going crazy for it the whole day, and Derek was like, bro, no, hold on, like let's relax. We'll get it on film. But I mean, it's just, you know, when guys are out there hungry and we're hitting on all the chords and just collaborating and having fun. I mean, it's you see what the result is.
You talked a lot about like this standard here and like what you guys can be or supposed to be. Was this close to that? Like, or stuff the right direction?
Yeah, I think. I mean, in the 7 years I've been here, we used to a certain. I mean, I'm just talking for offense. I'll talk for offense first. We used to operating at a certain type of efficiency and a certain level of I guess just I mean like efficiency and effort and just optimization of where we can score at will, right? And we can stay ahead of the chains and limit the penalties and the self-inflicted wounds. So when you can do that in this offense, man, the possibilities are really endless. And like I said, with the playmakers we have, there's enough for everybody. And then as a team, as a whole, I mean, when the defense is doing what they're doing, it can get ugly, you know. So I mean, it's a great feeling to go out there and kind of put that on display and you know, kind of wash away what happened last week.
Final question.
At the facility.
Yeah, just coming off last week's loss and just kind of trying to put that behind it.
Man, it was another work week. You know, a win or a loss. You know, I think the loss is hurt, but you know, it's the same thing. You got to move. You got to kind of have a short memory with you know this profession. So we lose. Obviously, it's you never want to lose, and sometimes guys, and I'm not talking about us, but sometimes I think it's easy to kind of get stuck in that, and like I said, that lull of like, oh man, we lost. Like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Instead of just being like, all right, we lost. Let's flip the page and let's keep going forward and do what we got to do in practice to, you know, put our best foot forward the next showing. So that's all we focus on. I mean, it was another work week. Obviously, we addressed what happened on Monday. And then we had an off day Tuesday and got to work on Wednesday. It is what it is. It's rinse and repeat. So, I mean, we got how many more games? We got to keep going.
Any reason it looks so easy?
I don't know. It was great. It was great weather. I don't know. It was collaborative, man. It felt good, man. It was a team win. Special teams, defense, offense. That's kind of when it looks easy like that. It's probably a reason, and that's when it's a collaborative. I don't know. I ain't never had a Patriot on my helmet, so I don't know what they got going on over there. I mean, they'll got they'll figure it out. Appreciate y'all.
Franchise touchdown leader? Is that a rushing touchdown or just all touchdown? Career, all time. Gold standard. That's why I had gold cleats on. Gold nose ring. Have you envisioned this kind of dominant performance? I always envision this type of performance. You know, we're always striving for a perfect played game in all three phases, and we say it each and every week. And at some point, I'm sure fans, reporters are like, "When is it going to be played?" Sounds like this week we played a close to perfect game, and there's still plays that we could have made. We're just going to continue working on our craft and try and get better each and every week.
What's it like?
I'll get out of here.
You're just getting a bunch of boos out of the crowd. Do you like as a defender?
No, I mean, you know how hard it is to be an NFL. You know how much work we put in as players to reach a Sunday. Like on any given Sunday, it's the reason why it's a phrase. You could have a great team lose one. You could have a bad team pop up with the win. We work our butts off on our craft each and every day, to eliminate penalties, to eliminate the room for error. And yet on a Sunday, we're only human. There's room for error. There's a reason why we go through so many reps just to go through 40 or 50 plays on defense or 60 plays on defense. Leading up to that, we practice 3 or 4 times as many reps as we'll get on game day. We're trying to be perfect. We're striving to be the best at our craft. And when it comes down to a game plan and executing at a high level, we did just that. I hope that's our new standard.
This week, I don't know if you heard Bill Belichick. He had called you, I think it was one of the hardest working players in the league, or the ones that he has the most respect for.
I appreciate that.
Did you hear that ahead of time, and just to kind of hear that now?
Before the game, you try and tune out everything. I mean, we just lost the previous week. I'm just trying to get a W in the win column, whatever gets us there. It has been a great part of my career to turn the page after 24 hours and look towards this next week. So the moment we flip the script after the loss last Sunday, got to Monday, I'm gung-ho on zoning in on Mac Jones and his offense. Bill Belichick, who is one of the most phenomenal coaches you're ever going to see, legendary Hall of Fame coach. So if he said anything positive about me, great. I have to go earn it. If anything, I figured there was going to be some chips my way that were not going to be what I wanted. But as a defensive line, I think we created enough havoc in the backfield to get the job done today. I think guys in the back end, Tyron sitting over here with that first pick six, popped the game off, draw blood. You feel like the DBs were on top of their game, which made Mac that last series in the second quarter actually hold the ball. Once he hold the ball, we had to make him pay.
Holding the team to 1 of 14 on Thursday.
Better than 8 of 13 or 8 of 15 last week. Again, I was scorned last week by things that felt like weren't a part of our identity going forward and going into this game. And from this game on, I hope that's a part of who we become. We're officially, almost a third. I'd say a quarter through, but a third of the way through the season. In the next couple of days, and we're just trying to keep on turning this page. We're going to enjoy this win, but don't make a mistake. Whoever we play next week, we got to start honing in on them right now. I believe it's Jacksonville, but I could be wrong. Houston, I was wrong, which means Jacksonville's after Houston. Like I said, I only focus on 1 week at a time. I could be wrong. I hope that what our defense played today is just the tip of the iceberg. The way Double D played, coming downhill, covering guys, everything that he's been all-world, all-pro for the last few years. How DBs are getting more confident, start breaking on balls. I feel like even our depth is starting to get a little bit stronger. So the better we can be as a defense, the better we can be as a team.
Is this what you guys can be today?
Tyron? Yeah, what he said. No, I hope, again, we're creating an identity, and I think we got away from that this last week. If we can continue striving for a complete game in all 3 phases, I hope to assume this is being the regular for us.
Cam, I was just saying how important it was for you guys this week coming into the game about causing havoc and creating turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you saw specifically, preparing over the last week from the Patriots that kind of gave you guys confidence that you could do that? Or anything?
It's about us. At the end of the day, if we play our game our way, there's nothing that anybody can do to take away from us. I think we have power players at every position. I think we have talent at every other position. And honestly, if we play our brand of football, if we play with the intensity, the energy that we have, and can try and continuously take and enforce our dominance in each series, I hope that becomes a new standard. Again, we got to work for it each and every day. So this game is great. This game was awesome. This game was fun. And I hope it continues to be this exciting. This is fun for the Saints. All right, I'm out. Bye.
Your first touchdown as a New Orleans Saint, not only the play itself, but how much did it mean to you to do that in that uniform?
It feels better when you win. You can make those kind of plays, early on in the game, and it doesn't necessarily, help the team win. So, I'd probably say it feels better to win the game.
Can you just take us through that play and what you saw?
Just saw the ball in the air. I think the D-line was hunting, all day. And, anytime you see a ball in the air and no one's around it, you just try to get under it and really just secure the catch.
I know it's an emphasis for the defense always to take away the run game, but for you playing back in the secondary, just kind of, can you describe a little bit of a ripple effect of what it means to take away the run game in a game like this?
Yeah, I mean, we got a really good defense, and I think when we're playing well, at all three levels, I think it only complements, all of us. If we're able to stop the run, guys in the secondary could kind of, show their ability, right? And, obviously guys like Cam and, Grando and, Breezy, like those guys can show that they can get to the quarterback. So, and, vice versa. We're covering well. Those guys can kind of pin their ears back and, hunt the quarterback. So, we just try to play, complementary ball, all three levels. That way, all of us could kind of, get a taste of that, success.
Secondary's kind of managed just fine, but just the boost of getting Howden and Adigo back today.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably one of our deeper, positions on the team. So, obviously we get May back next week, and he'll be another boost, for us, going to Houston. But those guys are, two guys that we count on. They play a big part in our scheme. So, anytime those guys can kind of show up and make plays for us, it's good for the team.
Howard, AK was saying that this week the facility was no different, because you just kind of put the script after a loss. Right? Is that hard for a team to do still? Like, does that kind of require the veteran kind of guys to be like, look, there's still 13 games left in the year?
Yeah. I mean, you never want to lose 2 games in a row. And so, I think as players, you got to kind of take that accountability and that responsibility. So, I thought throughout the week, guys just showed up, doing a little bit extra, watching a little bit more film, because you never want to lose 3 games in a row, not in this league. And, I think we all kind of understand it's still early in the season. And, we got a lot of ball left to play, but, you just want to find a way to kind of put your best stuff on tape. And, I thought coming into this stadium, with this coaching staff, who's a team that, doesn't matter, what's going on, they've always been a well-coached football team. So, and this is a great environment to play in, so, we knew coming into this week it was going to be another challenge for us. And, I thought we just did what we were supposed to do as far as, starting fast and, finishing strong today.
You said you agreed with Cam's assessment. This is kind of what you can be.
Yeah, I mean, this the big league, man. It's hard to shut out teams, each and every week. Obviously, things have to, go in your favor, right? Maybe they get a holding call that kind of, push them out of field goal range, right? Maybe they fumble a snap. Maybe you get a turnover. So, it's tough to do that, week in and week out. But, I think our attention to detail, obviously the way we impacted the quarterback today, being aggressive, at the catch point, all those things are things that, we expect to do, week in and week out.
You just mentioned impacting the quarterback. What did you do specifically in order to get that done?
We just played our style of defense. It wasn't a special call that we made to, get after him. I thought the D-line just kind of took it personal this week. Last week, just felt like Baker had so much time, in the pocket. And so, you knew those guys was motivated, coming into this week. Obviously as a defense overall, we were motivated as well. So, we just try to do what we do, and play how we play. And, it kind of fell in our favor today.
You've had some pretty impactful games here, pretty impactful plays. Any reason why you like playing here?
Yeah, man. We were talking about that before the game. It seems like every time I come up here, I get a pick. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like the same type of pick, right? Like it's usually a tip ball, that kind of just falls in my lap. But Yeah, man. These are places, in games that, you'll remember forever. Playing against, a franchise that's, won, 6 or so Super Bowls. It always kind of gets you motivated, for the challenge to. And then they got great fans too, So I think a combination of all that, you don't need no creatine or, no energy drink to kind of get your day started.
Can you tell us just a little bit about what you've seen in terms of growth from Jordan Howden? 2 games now, he had a pretty big impact play in this one. Just what have you seen from him?
I mean, he's a smart player, and he's a tough player. He's a guy that's, probably going to help this franchise, for a long time. And so, his role is constantly growing, week in and week out. I think the biggest thing with young guys that's is just making the plays that come to you, right? Like not trying to do anything special or, anything outside the scheme. It's just kind of letting the game come to you, right? And, he had a lot of big plays, today for us. I thought he was going to catch that overthrown, post today. But he'll get that, man. He's a tough kid. He's playing with a cast on his hand, in the big leagues, right? And so, having a tackle and having to, get off blocks, those kind of things could, be conscious on your mind, and it may allow you not to play to your, full abilities. So, it's great to see, not only is he a good football player, but he's a tough kid too.
He had talked about in his first game, sort of having these moments where he was kind of overthinking or thinking about making a play. Is that kind of what you're referencing about making tackles, getting off the last thing?
Yeah. I mean, I'm in year 11, right? And I still have my moments, right, where I may overthink a situation. I may guess wrong on the route, right? Like I may shoot the wrong hip, when it's time to tackle somebody. So football is a game of mistakes, right? You're going to make a lot of them. I think the biggest thing is trying to minimize them. So, but he'll be all right. He'll have a long career. So, he just needs to get out his head, a little bit. But he'll make a lot of plays in this league. Yep. That good?
Yeah, like I said at the beginning of the year, we want to be able to go into a game. It doesn't matter who scores, who has the touchdowns, who played. We just want to play good football and win. And today was the perfect example of what we've been hoping for, right? Like no one's in here thinking about stats and Pro Bowls and all that. We're thinking about how many wins can we rack up and can we win the last game of the year, right? And so to see us play the way that we did today from a whole team aspect makes us feel good for sure.
From the opening drive, you guys had the ball first. There was a different approach to the offense. It seemed like you guys wanted to be aggressive. A couple balls you threw down the field.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't end up in the hands of the Saints play, but it was kind of a different mindset this week from what it was last week. Was that a point of emphasis?
It definitely was. Yeah, absolutely. Because if teams are going to play us a certain way, especially, they're thinking about my shoulder and things that we're trying to do and all that kind of stuff. So we had to show them that we could, the potential for down the field shots were there, and we were able to hit a couple. Not on the first drive, but we were able to. You throw enough of them, you can hit a couple, and we were able to do that today because we had some good looks to do it. And so, as an offense, we still have so many things to correct penalty-wise, and so many little details that could have got us an easier field goal or easier for a first down or completion. And we got to clean those things up. And if we can keep cleaning those things up and be better next week, we feel like we can keep getting better as a team.
Derek, how big was that 3rd and 11 that you hit Michael Thomas for 26 that you eventually got that first touchdown? Was that kind of like the spark for the day for you guys offensively?
Yeah, I don't think our demeanor or mindset changed at any point throughout the day. I thought we came in with a great focus. I just felt like that play, obviously it's 3rd and long. We don't want to put the defense again back out there so quick. And Mike did a great job going across the middle, taking a hit and making a play. And he did that a couple of times for me today. He even knew it was going to be that type of day. It just is one of those things. And, he was able to stand in there and make every play that, we needed, except for the first one that we talked about.
Earlier this week, you said the running games and defense quarterbacks best friend.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just specifically on that running game today, having that be as effective as it was, how much did that open things up?
Well, then we run a play action, and they get back under the play action because they come up for the run, then they turn their backs and go for the play action, and I check it down for 30 yards. It just to Kendre. Like, that's a perfect example of how it all works together, right? Like, if they come down a little farther and there's a window for Mike or Chris on that play, I throw it to them. If not, I check it down, and they're playing the run, then now they're getting back playing. They can't just be one dimensional, and so it all works together. And this is the ultimate team game. And so if I can do my job, it helps AK. If AK does his job, it helps us. If the line does theirs, it all is moving and working together all the time.
How important do you think the performance was for Pete?
There was no different thought this week. There was no different feeling. We knew what we have in Pete, and we believe in him. And like I never lied to y'all. Like we think the world of Pete, and so I just know that I've been in tough times, and when you do go out and have a good day, it's always a relief. No matter it's always like, all right, let's at least get 7 days answering nice questions about some things, and so. But that's this business, and he knows that. I know that, playing quarterback. The head coaches always know that, right? They got to always answer questions, and so it is what it is. But our confidence never changed in Pete, for sure.
Earlier this week, you said that every time you go against the Bill Belichick defense, it's like mentally exhausting. I think it's kind of the term that you use.
Yeah.
How are you feeling now? How are you feeling now?
Yeah, I'm tired. Yeah, it is mentally taxing. They do a great job with personnel groupings, putting sub defense, playing base fronts, and you got to get everybody on the same page so we're blocking the right guys, and they do a great job of trying to mix those things up, and different pressure looks, not running the ball into those, and making sure they'll hold the disguise until that play clock's at 2 seconds, and you got to make sure you're right to help the team. And Coach Belichick is, like I said before, he's one of, if not the best coach, of all time, and so anytime you go against him as a quarterback, it's a tough out, it's a tough day, but you just try and be efficient, make the best decisions. Do your film study during the week, which is a tall task. But yeah, I'll be asleep on the plane probably.
Sorry if you've already asked this, but with the red zone conversion today, 3 for 3, how well, I guess relieving is it that you guys were able to convert there? And
Yep.
is 3 for 3 okay? I know you said 4 for 4.
I said 4, and then I'll give you a high five. Once we go 4 for 4, I'll give you a high five. I got to be a man of my word. My yes is my yes, So, we got 3 of them, and that just helps the defense. If we can get touchdowns when we get down there, it's a big emphasis for us this week. Is we felt confident, always in the game plan that, hey, when we get down there, let's make sure that we execute. And sometimes it may be a field goal, but to come away out of a game, especially in this stadium, against this scheme with those players, that's an exciting day for sure.
This game with 2 pretty key injuries on defense with Judon and Gonzalez. Did that change how you guys approach the game or anything like that in terms of going at their tendencies, anything like that?
No, but like I've always said, those are 2 really good players. I haven't played against the young corner, but watching him on film, he's very impressive. Especially the job he did against Tyreek and the things they were asking him to do. And then Judon's one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. So whenever someone gets hurt, it's always hard to replace those guys. But for us, especially when you play Coach Belichick, like, it doesn't matter, what 11 he's thrown out there. He's got something. He's going to try and stop you. It's going to be a tough out for sure, no matter who's out there.
You talked about it, like his role has just continued to grow.
Who's that? Sorry.
Kendre Miller.
Yep.
What have you seen from him in terms of his progression and trust level?
Well, I just love his mentality when he gets in the huddle. I've been in there with some young guys sometime, and I'm like having to remind them of everything, and hey, make sure you do this now. Go fast, like trying to remind them to play fast. And like Kendre, he just is a football player. He just, you tell him one thing, we break the huddle, and I'm like, hey, make sure on this. He's like, I got you, bro. Like, and boom, I hit him in the flat. Boom, he breaks tackle, gets the yards. It's like, when you have a young guy like that with that much confidence, you just hope that his confidence just keeps growing, because he'll just keep getting better. He'll play faster and faster, and he'll see the cuts faster. He'll play faster, but he's got a great guy in front of him to learn from too.
You talked a couple times in the last month or so about Mike knowing he's going to be in like a spot where he might get hit when he's catching.
Mm-hmm.
Do you appreciate that in a receiver, or just like the physicality and knowing that you can throw a type window ball and he's going to kind of come up with it 7 or 8 times?
100%. They brought a. We did something today. We didn't even talk about during the week. They went cover 0 on 1. And I saw it, and versus this certain look, I just looked at Mike and gave him a hand signal, and we didn't even talk about it. We didn't, but we, through our communication and our growth together and our relationship, there are certain things I just, hey, be ready all the time if this, and he's like, yeah, I like this route, or and they gave us a blitz. They're bringing one free for me, and he's got standing there and take a hit, and I got standing there. And that's football. Sometimes, and to see, us complete that, him take that hit, hang on to the ball, and pick up really a big first down for us in that moment. They're all big, but just the way that happened, I thought that was a big play in the game, and it shows the rest of the team that 13 will do whatever it takes to win.
It was third down, fourth quarter. Right?
Yep. Yep.
And how has your?
I thought it was third quarter.
It might
Yeah. Okay. All right.
They sent like an 8-gap blitz, I think.
Yep.
How was your relationship with him? Kind of growing, even in the season. It seems like it's kind of been something you guys have continued to build on.
Yeah, it's growing, and I love Mike. And the one thing about him is, his communication is so great during the games, and him and I can't, grow and do that in training camp. We can't grow and do that in OTAs. You have to play real football games. You have to get on the same page when it's live bullets. And I'm not even saying preseason. It's got to be like regular season games, where teams are really game planning and trying to scheme and doing things. And so, for us to be on the same page and to be able to communicate about some things and then hit those, we communicate about one thing. We asked Pete, like, hey, Pete, we like this play. He's like, okay, boom. We go into a drive, second play or first play, boom. He calls it, we hit it, And that not only builds our relationship, but it builds the relationship with the coaching staff and the trust, and the trust is growing for everybody. But you can only do that with real games, and to do it in a hostile place like this against a good defense is always fun.
What did you see on the touchdown to Foster?
Without getting too schematic, it was just a good look for the play, and it was a great design by Pete. And then Pete puts the players in good position, and Foster and the offensive line made an amazing effort to get into the end zone. And I thought that was a big drive for us, to go down there. We're winning the game, but still to go down there and punch it in, get another touchdown. It's not even about the Patriots. It was about us, and in that moment for us to punch it in like that and build that confidence, I thought was great. Yep, appreciate it.
Man. Well, I've been preaching at the podium the past couple of times, and they keep asking me to come back, y'all. So I guess I'll keep on preaching. Firstly, praise God. What a wonderful game today. I think I'm just blown away that it's the Lord's Day, and oftentimes many of us don't get to go to church on Sunday because we're either here working or playing this game or watching this game. So we do have the opportunity to bring church to us. I think after a game like that, it's very easy to praise us, praise our team. But it's the Lord's Day, and so I'm always conscious to try to deflect that praise, or I want to be conscious to deflect that praise to Him. I think over the past week, I've just been thinking about how easy it is for us to kind of mask our hurt and pain. And it's easy to deflect and watch a game like this and be entertained for an entire day or multiple days. But then we go back to our reality, and this game is great. It's provided a lot of blessings. But there's nothing inside this game that can help when something happens to us individually and we're hurting. If something happens to my kids or our kids, there's nothing in this game that can help necessarily with that. Talking about kids specifically, my daughter is doing well. She's still doing well. Thank you guys for the prayers. If something happens in your relationships, there's nothing inside this game that can help with that. If something happens catastrophically in your finances, people who played this game, there's nothing that could help them with that. If something happens in your career, there's nothing in this game that can help you with that. But where there is help is at the cross. See, the cross not only can save you spiritually, what Jesus done and is doing can help you in your current day life. And I think we need to take time to be reminded of that, because a lot of us are hurting and we're masking it like we're not. And so being able to have Sunday, that's what at least the Lord's Day is, a reminder of that. And if we take time and don't use the Lord's Day for what it's actually there for, to remind us of the Lord, and take time to praise the Lord and make sure our focus is right, man, we miss a great opportunity. And I just don't want that to pass before us. And so I'm grateful for that. So that's why I come in and say, praise God. I'm grateful for this platform on a Sunday that I can, even if I miss church, I get to come in and have church. And so praise God for that. I guess this time I am going to open it for questions, but I'm going to save my football questions for next week. But if you got any life questions or anything that maybe I can go deeper on what I've shared, I do want to open the floor up for that.
Do y'all find time to go over scripture or anything like that, whether it be at the facility or pre or post game?
Man, that's a phenomenal question. Do we get a chance to go over scripture? On Wednesdays, we have team prayer. And so anybody in our building that's going through something, whether it's on the field, off the field, life, we have team prayer on Wednesday mornings, usually about an hour before we have our team meeting. And it's been phenomenal. And that's where you really get to see what people are going through. Most of the time, the prayers are not football related. And we pray for 30 minutes to an hour. And our room is full and people are praying. And, you know, that's something that we do. And we also have team Bible study weekly and team chapel weekly. But we're constantly trying to stay on our real mission as believers in the locker room. But whether you're a believer or not believer, we want to make sure that you know that the cross is available and the power of God is available for you. Thank you for that. Thank you, guys. Y'all be blessed.
Hey, Mike, Derek brought up you were just kind of willing, knowing going into a play that you're going to get probably hit on.
Yeah.
Where does that come from for you, and why is that important for you to be that guy?
Just my love for the game, having a sense of urgency, knowing when my teammates need me, and just accountability. If he gives me an assignment, I got to go out there and execute it and make the play happen. Therefore, we get to the other plays and execute like the offense we're capable of being. Very important. Every week is going to be important for us to play like we played today and keep building and do our job and play complementary football and do the things that we're capable of doing. This is just one game, and we'll enjoy it, but we know it's back to work, and we still have to keep finding ways to get better, keep attention to details, keep taking coaching, all the things DA tells us to do. That's all we have to do, and execute, and we'll have fun days like today. Honestly, I wasn't the guy going in motion, so my eyes always face forward. I trust whatever Pete calls and whatever the guys call in the situations they put us in to make plays and execute. They've done, even though they've got, some of the heat, they've done tremendous and they've done their job. We just have to make those plays that we made today and keep making them and keep building, and everything will start opening up. And it's great to have 4-1 back. He ran the ball tremendous today. The offensive line from the first drive were tremendous, and they did great, and we fed off them, and we knew we had to make plays. And, man, it was just fun to play that type of game with these guys.
Mike, how would you describe that rapport that you've been building with Derek to the point where there's a nonverbal communication where you get in that hand signal?
Yeah, I mean, that's it should always be pitch and catch between me and him. I hate to say it, but when I was with Drew, that's all we did. Pitch and catch, find open throws, nonverbal communication, talk after every play. So we're building that and holding each other to a high standard.
Michael, you were talking about Alvin, and of course he's now the all-time touchdown record leader for the Saints. Just for him to get that, you've been with him for a long time, just as a teammate. Oh
man, Alvin's going to score a lot of more touchdowns this year. but that one was definitely a special one. But the number of touchdowns that he'll end up scoring his whole career here will blow that out the window. And I don't know. We don't want to get too high on that. We would definitely want to give him his credit on what he did and the record that he did. But we have so much football ahead of us that he could shatter the record. So it's never how you start, but it's how you finish. So I think he's going to be able. That number we'll just keep going up and up and up by the end of the season. Then we could talk about that because I think that would be a true record.
Alvin also spoke a little bit about kind of the collaboration between players, coaches, just the conversation going on. How important is that to this offense role?
Just sense of urgency, communicating, letting the guys know what we see. Anytime we can help each other is beneficial for our offense as a whole. So everything we did today, I think it benefited us in the right way, and we got to taste it, and we want more.
About a minute to go in the game, UNTA shared a moment there. Can you just
Wait, can you repeat that?
with about a minute to go in the game, UNTA shared a moment on the sideline. What was said at that time?
Yeah, I just congratulated him on the victory. I know how much he wants to win, and he coaches us hard. He does so many great things as a head coach. You want to see him win. So to be able to shake his hand with after a performance like that, hats off to him. You got to give credit where credit's due. He did a great job today for us, and I was proud of him. And that's ultimately what we want to do every week. So just to be able to do that, you got to give credit where credit's due. He did a tremendous job today.
Michael, had that scoring drive, there was a 3rd and 11, the first scoring drive. You had that big game for 26. Can you walk me through that play? And do you feel like that was offensively? Obviously, you guys close it with a touchdown, but how big for you? Just kind of walk me through that play. And how significant to extend that drive to
Man, I love making plays like that for this team. I love making those big time catches over the middle. Even that's why I tell Derek, I'm like, man, I'm a big body. Let me take some hits. I take some hits. I enjoy that. He gave me an opportunity to make a play, and I know what that means when your number's called and for this offense as a whole. And we hear all the stuff they're saying, and we know we gotta come out and score fast and all that. So we put the onus on ourselves, and that's just accountability to make those plays and not get off the field and get to more plays. Because if you don't convert on 3rd down, then we never know what we have. So we got to convert on 3rd down so we get to more plays. But I also encourage the guys that we're a team. We don't have to live on 3rd down. We can execute on 1st and 2nd down.
You were saying you were hearing noise. How big was this unit just to put a performance like that, especially with all the heat that's been on Pete Carmichael going into this week, the offense struggling? As a unit, how motivated was this?
That's what good teams do. They accept the challenge and they come out and they have a dominant performance like that and they get back to work and keep stacking them. That's what good teams do. We like that. We like when people go against us because that gives us a chance to respond and accept the challenge. And I definitely like it. And whatever they say, we're gonna always go hard and we're gonna go out there and compete and represent. And I'm ready for the next one.
Mike, entering this week, the Patriots, they had some turnover among quarterbacks. Christian Gonzalez got hurt. J.C. Jackson comes in. How does that impact your preparation coming into the game? And then, now that the game's over, how do you feel like those matchups kind of
We might have left a couple plays out there if we're being honest, for sure. But we treat those guys like nameless faces. All respect to them, but whoever lines up across from them, we got to execute and get open and do our job. So we treat them all like nameless faces. And we want some more. That's it. We just want. I want some more. I'm ready for the next one.
Mike, when the run game's going like it is today, can you feel the extra space in the back end?
Definitely. The run game was tremendous today. Even Taysom ran the ball hard. Kendra ran the ball hard. Of course, Alvin. I saw it. Derek, he might have had a couple of scrambles too. But I think we played with a sense of urgency, and we could definitely build off this.
On that in-cut you had, you took a big shot and came out and you didn't show it. You were kind of...
Yeah.
How important is that to not show the defense that you were...
Oh, man. That's mental. That's like a mindset. You got to get back up. You got to... That's just something that's built inside of me. I can't really explain that, but That's even kind of like my whole story. You get knocked down, you got to get up. But I'm used to getting up. I'm going to keep getting up.
Like, obviously, the way the last few seasons have gone with the injuries and surgeries, and just from your kind of mental space right now, how where are you right now in terms of just being able to go out there and be available every day?
Yeah, I just want to come out here, motivate my teammates, bring energy, bring juice, play dominant football, move the chains, things that an X does. That's what I want to be, and that's what I'm working towards, and just grinding, seeing what it gives me.
Like Alvin said last year, he kind of talked to the team after that loss to the Cardinals and maybe called people out, and the next week was a win against the Raiders. Do you feel like your talk to the team after last week could have had any similar motivation?
I mean, I'm not one of those guys where I just talk to my team like 1 week and then I talk to my teammates every week. I talk to my teammates all game. Like, whatever it takes, just adding that sense of urgency, keeping guys like alert and being a leader and just letting them know we're on a mission. We're here to win games. So if we see guys veering off, we got to get them right in line fast. So it's just like the culture we're building here. We just want to – all we care about is winning, honestly. There's nothing to be said like when we lose because that's not the standard. So I don't want to act like that was just like me talking to the team for that time. I'm going to be talking to this team all season.
In case that you were like,
That's why
calling for a specific play.
Yeah.
It just never ended up coming at it. I guess like how hungry was the team that just like everybody wanted to go out?
Yeah, we wanted to go out there and dominate for sure. Pete and other guys, they were aggressive too. We felt it, so we were aggressive too on telling them what we wanted. And, you know, we just want to move this ball down the field and win a lot of games. So whatever it takes, guys being hungry and wanting the ball, there's nothing wrong with that. As long as when your number is called, you make the play and move the chains. Yeah.
And that's all of the press conference. And like I said, man, when you see some of those guys, man, during some of these games, fam, you know, and it's like you don't see them, you know, in a loss. It's very interesting, man. It's a very interesting dynamic. After a win, everybody comes to the podium. And then after a loss, not so much. Anyway, we get it. Anyway, the Saints, man, congratulations to the Who Dat Nation. This was a fantastic win by the Black and Gold today. They took home, they handled it 34-0. They beat a bad Patriot team that were discombobulated. They beat them handily. You know, the offense, defense, special teams contributed to the win, and they came away with a good win. And this is how you're supposed to be bad teams. You're supposed to blank them. This is a very big confidence building win for the Saints offense. We'll face a more competitive team in the Houston Texans, who barely lost to the Atlanta Falcons today. We go to Houston to take on C.J. Stroud. That young team has been playing inspired football, so we'll have to take it to them as well. So we've seen some positives to really account for in this matchup, and we just have to – this is good film, very good film for the team to continue to build on, man. So you heard Mike, you heard Elvin, you heard Cam, you heard Tyron, you heard DeMario, you heard Dennis, you heard all of them. They were saying some positive stuff in this matchup, and it was a big win for the Saints insofar as that's concerned. After watching all these last 4 weeks of football for the Black and Gold, it was really interesting. A struggle win it through weeks 1 and 2, and then 3. We thought that we were on our way in week 3 to this type of matchup. Like, this type of win is what I was expecting in week 3 against the Packers. And ultimately, they fell through the flow in the fourth quarter. And then that led to that loss and the Buccaneers loss, which was non-competitive from an offensive standpoint. Total different affair this game. The Saints came out with it on their minds. They were able to capitalize. They were able to get multiple touchdowns offensively. Defense drawing a touchdown. Special teams kicked 2 50-plus yard field goals to help the Saints get into higher ranking in terms of the score. 34-0. The Saints snapped the 2-game losing streak. They go to 3-2 with an opportunity to go to Houston to climb to 4-2 on the road. So, man, listen, that is all positive, all very positive for the Saints today. All right. Thank you, Mr. Mel. He says, I know Pops Q is not in the house for his perspective. No, Pops. That's right, Mr. Mel. Mr. Pops Q is he's at church, with my mom's them. They had to drive a distance to go to church today, but he was kind of sad. I could tell that he was in the chime in. He missed a shellacking that the Saints put on the Patriots. I knew he wanted to throw his perspective, but yeah, he won't be in the show today because of what I just said. So not in the house, but here's a little something in his absence. Also, I'm happy that Jameis did not find a way to ruin the shutout with a pick in the last few minutes of the game. All right, thank you, Mr. Mel.
Thank you. Far too kind.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for that, Mr. Mel. Shout out to you, bro. 23 says, yo, Q, we beat Houston next week. We really should have been 5-1, man. Yes, indeed. Yeah, you're right, bro. But, like we were saying, when you looked at the schedule, people said they should have been 5-0 at this juncture. But, like I said, we have kind of ways with us at times, like the first 2 weeks, and you thinking that it'll be incremental improvement. The Saints' step every week will be a way to find a win. The third game was a collapse. I didn't see that coming. The fourth week wasn't something I thought, because none of these teams are playoff teams. And the way we were playing, we're not a playoff team. The offense had to figure out a way to get the ball moving. And who thunk it? Who would have thunk it would have been through the running attack, right? Who been saying we need to run the damn ball and get back to running the ball and get back to running the ball, take the ball out of Derek Carr's hands, put it in the hands of Elvin Kamara in the running attack? Who thunk it that if we would end up running the ball 40-something times in this game that we would lead to a more balanced approach? Ooh, who the hell thought that, But anyway, they finally got it and we were able to get it. So we just got to keep on improving. And that's what it's saying, man. We just got to keep on improving. And I'm happy that they got the win today. Maybe this can inspire offense to work harder. And Derek Carr, for God's sake, find a way to work on his improvement, work on him being a little bit more accurate on some of these throws, man, because he was having some throws that kind of sailed, but his I think his arm is still bothering him a little bit. So outside of that, man, I'm still happy for the win. It's just something to work on and improve going forward, man. We beat a bad Patriots team the way we were supposed to beat them. We still need to improve, but it's still a good win. Andre says, much better play calling for PC. Offense really helped the defense today. AK-41 is the man. Our field goal kicker will be the reason for a lot of wins in the future. Who that? For life. Thank you, fam. Appreciate you, Andre, for your commentary on that. Much love to the fam. All right, Lionel says, better play calling today. Still focused to get better. Indeed, bro. I agree. Damon says, dude can't be from the man. Yeah, got a little Tennessee to him. Either Tennessee or Texas going on. But he a Saint guy, so I'm rocking with him. All right. So anyway, fam, man, listen, this was a really good, solid win today. The next team coming up next is the Houston Texans, who are going to be kind of upset they lost to the Atlanta Falcons. We still got to go there and handle the business and get that two-game winning streak going for the Saints going into this thing. So very positive, man. Very positive and very positive. All right. Go Maha says, if nothing else, is definitely a very confidence building win. If this offense can start to believe in itself a little, good things are going to happen. We got the tools and the talent. Indeed, we do. We got all of the talent. Everybody's healthy. And like I said, it boils down to we need listen, shout out to the Saints offensive line today. Shout out to the Saints offensive line today. I got to get it to the line. But man, listen, the Saints turned around a lot of stuff in this game to make it go 34-0. We know the Patriots were bad, but family, there were some statistics here that really were eye-opening up until this point because they weren't exhibiting this stuff. For instance, and I mentioned this, and I want to just mention it again. The Saints had 42 rushing attempts in this game against the Patriots. 42 rushing attempts versus 26 pass attempts. The Saints ran the ball a lot more than they did pass the ball, and that helps the Saints. And I was saying that what's stronger right now, the running attack or the passing attack? It's the running attack. the running attack is a lot stronger than the passing attack because Derek Carr he's not really accurate right now. His his passes are sailing over his receivers. The catch that Michael Thomas made where he had to go up and go and get the ball, he had to adjust to get that one. The Chris Olave catch, he had to adjust for that. He had several plays that were made where receivers had to adjust to his passes because they were slightly ahead of him or slightly behind him. Very rarely today we seen him put the ball on the receiver or lead the receiver properly to make the play. He was off, and I want to say that's because of his injury to that throwing arm, to that shoulder. So you can see his passes even with his deep ball throwing, his passes were sailing there, and that's his best ball right there is to throw the deep ball. He throws an accurate deep ball. When I seen those deep balls sailing like that I was like, that's the injury on that dude. That's that shoulder, for him to have that, because that's his best throw. That's his money throw. But anyway, this is true to form. Right now, this is your recipe for winning. The offensive line got together. They gathered a mentality with several plays I was really proud of. Hurst gave up a sack early on in the game, and he came back with really good, solid run block, and he was pulling and mauling out guys, pushing them out. And the Saints offensive line, people won't talk about it. We'll talk about the skill set players with their performance, but the offensive line for the Saints turned in a hell of a performance today for the black and gold. They were responsible for 136 rushing yards. Guys ran behind them 42 times. A lot of that was to the right side of the formation. It's Rams side. So if we can get those guys to step up and continue to do this week to week, we'll win a lot of games. And that's one stat. Two other stats I want to show, because it was like three stats that I was really impressed with the Saints had today. The rush attempts, 42 versus 26, which was the pass attempts, 42 rushes versus 26 pass attempts. They averaged 3.2 yards per rush, but they had 136 yards running the ball versus 168 yards, 136 rushing versus 168 passing. The second stat was the red zone. The Saints were 3 out of 4 in red zone statistic today. They were down there 3 times. They converted 3 of 4 in the red zone. That's big, because in previous matchups, the Saints stunk in the red zone. They'll go down there and they were 0-2, whatever. They made it count when they were in the red zone. When you're in the red zone, you got to make it count. And the Saints went there 4 times, came out of there with 3 scores in the red zone. That is positive. That is a positive thing when you go 3 for 4 in the red zone. They handled the business. And then, of course, the third and final statistic that I was really impressed with was the time of possession. The Saints had the ball for almost 40 minutes of a 60-minute game. Almost 40 minutes of it. Let me say that again. They had the ball for almost 40 minutes of a 60-minute game. They had the ball. They held the ball. They ran the ball. They tired it out the team. And when you held the ball for almost 40 minutes out of a 60-minute game, you can see the play differential between the Saints and the Pats. 70 plays versus 51 plays. They had almost 20 plays, over 20 plays more than what the Patriots had today. And that's doing the fact that the Saints were doing a good job of clock management. So when you run the ball, 42 attempts running the ball for 136 yards, you eat clock, which is almost 40 minutes of a 60-minute game, and that awards you extra plays, which the Saints had over 20 more plays than the Patriots to be able to kind of shrink their playbook, because the Patriots had to get rid of a lot of plays. They were down 21-0 at halftime, which means they had to fight and throw the ball a lot. So they had to shelve a lot of the stuff that they were really good at in an attempt to try to catch up with the Saints. Well, the defense didn't allow that to happen. They were ready for them, and they did a wonderful job of stopping them. So that's 3 of the statistics that I really was impressed with from a team perspective that the Saints did. This was a team win. Special teams, offense, defense, with the pick 6 from Tyrann Mathieu. They had multiple sacks in the game. They also had multiple turnovers in the game. It was very positive. So we just need Derek Carr, who was 18 of 26 for 183 and 2 touchdowns. He did get sacked twice, one of which I knew it was one of the sacks was him holding the ball too much. But the Saints offensive line, if we can build on this and we can get our line going, we can be able to beat these other teams. We need to run the ball to set up the play action. We'll be fine. Derek Carr has to get better with his accuracy. Got to work at that thing, man. But it's all what they're saying is quite encouraging going forward. So it's a positive, man. It is a positive, man. Shout out to the offensive line, man. It's a like a Super Bowl party. Not quite, my friend. Not quite. Not quite. We got a little further to go. All right. All right. Damon says through 5 games, even though it's early and maybe he's hurt, but it wasn't much better before then. I'm not digging Carr, but it's early and maybe he can get it going. Not digging his pocket presence, Q. I get you on that, and you're right. Yeah, it was. I agree. His pocket presence. He needs to work on it. Derek Carr he doesn't have a clock, man. You think he could just stand in there for 30 minutes and they block for him, and that's what he did on that last sack that he took. Like, dude, you got to get rid of the ball, and then he knows that. He'll stand up there and say that to you, man. I got to get rid of the ball. Just get rid of the ball, bro. You got to operate on timing. You don't have all the time in the world to stand in the pocket like that. Dump the ball down or throw it away. And that was one of the plays in which he did scramble out the pocket and throw the ball off to the right sideline out of bounds because he didn't see anything up the field. So he did learn that on the drive. I'm pretty sure somebody told him, hey, bro, don't take no sacks to hurt the team. But fortunately enough, we had the field goal kicker who hit 250 plus yard field goals to help save Derek Carr's butt, because that one would have been, kind of bad if we would have, that would have gotten away from us. But we got all the points that we, in terms of, the Saints did, they still had some other stuff they can give, but this is good tape to take home to watch and say, see, we can do this, and we'll improve upon what we need to improve upon. You see? So I'm liking it. All right. Shout out to you. What's up, Randolph? Shout out to my boy, Randolph. I agree. Total team win there. All right. Thank you, my brother. All right. So anyway, 3-2 we are right now in this thing. 3-2 on the season. Saints snapped a 2-game losing streak. We get on the plus side. We got the Houston Texans in Houston next week, and we'll be looking good to get that one again. So we need to keep on them, family. We got to keep on them, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna make it pop. So with that being said, families, I'm gonna get out on that. I like to thank all of you guys for staying up with us for this 4.5 hour stream, man. We watched the Saints handle some business. They got the dub against they was able to handle. They got against the Patriots 34-0. That was a positive. Man, listen, I'm just happy, man, that I'm gonna say it again. The Madden simulation that we ran, I'm gonna say it again. It said that we was going to beat the Madden simulation. I hate to keep saying this to y'all, but that's real weird. That Madden simulation is 5-0 right now. It's 5-0. It picked every last one of these games correctly. It didn't get the scores right, but it got the, picking the winner of losers. It's 5-0. It said the Saints was going to win the first 2 games and lose the last 2 games, and then weeks 1 and 2 was wins, weeks 3 to 4 is wins. I do the simulation week per week, not like overall the season. I do it week per week. This past week, I do them every Tuesday. That it said that the Saints was going to beat the Patriots. It said that they were going to blow them up. I think they had like 50-17 or something was the score. People was like, nah, ain't no way, Madden don't know what they're talking about. They said you was going to win. You won. That is 5 straight weeks where the computer picked right. So it's 5-0 in picking Saints games. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to keep on sticking with it, man. And then whatever it is, we're going to keep on doing it, man. And hopefully, he'd be able to get a little inside game on it. But you go through 5 straight weeks and you perfect. Something up with that, man. That ain't no coinky dink. So, it's very interesting. Hey, Boss Hog says me, but he throws a wild pass that almost picked up. It should have been. It looked like it was a pickoff to me. The Saints just able to get and play together, where they were able to run the play, so they couldn't go back and look at it. But if you look at it, it looked like the guy had the pick. To me, it just thing they didn't go after it. All right, Dame says your thoughts on the punter, Q. Yeah, well, no, I think Headley is all right. I think the Saints he doing all right. We're gonna just ride with Lou Headley. I think somebody picked Blake Griffin up. Blake Gilligan up. I think Blake Gilligan got picked up by somebody, but I don't think he's out there anymore. But yeah, Lou Headley's doing a good job. Our young kickers just keep up with the young guys, man. They're doing pretty positive, man. You can't criticize the young guys, the rookies, man. They got to learn. What's up? Dedrick says, yeah, I agree the Pats are garbage, but we did what we were supposed to do, blow them out. I'm glad we didn't play down to our competition. That's the big part of it. All right, Brother Lionel says, much love to you, Big Q. See you later, bro. Appreciate you, man. Listen, thank y'all for being in the stream, man. 4.5 plus hours. Y'all feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. I'll return back. I'll be back soon on Monday. We'll go over this thing again, man. But this is a real positive win. The Saints handle their business, man, and get the dub. Y'all should be happy for this one, man. Showing some semblance of offense, man. And this could be something that's positive that we can build on. So with that being said, I'm going to get out on that. I appreciate y'all. Much love, and who that to you.
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees are Roger Goodell. Yeah, funny like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Saints Central, your black and gold home for the New Orleans Saints.
Store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.